So today's nugget is comes from a course that I teach on modern spirituality in the Sanctuary Centre in Dublin. It's a one-year program, and it starts again um, this coming October 2025. If you're interested, look it up on my website, www.thebeehive.ie. And today, little nugget is about a famous quote from John of the Cross. John of the Cross is a famous Christian mystic, and he's attributed with the dark night of the soul, which is often misconstrued. Um, Normally, when people have a crisis in their lives, they say, "Oh, I'm going through a dark night of the soul," but that's not what John meant. Um, he talked originally about the dark night of the senses as a way of, I guess, turning away from the distractions of everyday life and purposefully entering into the darkness. Um, the darkness representing that inner monastery or temple where we connect with our soul's wisdom. So it's not necessarily that we have a crisis in our lives and this is the dark night of the soul, although every crisis is an opportunity from the soul's perspective. But rather, we consciously choose to turn away from the distractions of everyday life and come into the quiet, which, which the darkness represents in our meditation practice. So we turn off our phones, we close the door, we come into a quiet space. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, what is the opposite of the dark night of the soul then? Um, and, I put it to my students, we came up with a few ideas, but one of them was, how about the bright day of the ego? So the bright day of the ego is where we get all consumed by our ego needs to survive, to grow, to be in the world, in the external world of form and doing and being and busyness. Um, which to a certain degree is fine and part of why we're here. Yet if we don't balance that out by coming in and connecting into the deeper sense of our spirit and our soul in the darkness, in the quietness, in the silence, then our lives are going to be somewhat empty. And this comes back to, you know, a lot of people, even though their lives may appear successful in the brightness of the day, they still feel like they say, oh, there's something missing still in my life. And of course, that what's missing is the deeper connection. What's missing is the deeper connection. And I've experienced that in my own life, always feeling like there's something missing until I'm looking for it in the bright everyday ego world. Um, but no matter what my successes or achievements were in that space, it didn't remove that feeling that something's missing. And it wasn't until I reorientated myself away from the seduction, and I use that word purposefully, the seduction of the external, and came into the internal quietness, which initially seemed empty. So often we, the emptiness is really important, and we cover the emptiness in ourselves with distraction and try and fill it with busyness and things and doing, and again, orientated outward. And it's not until we begin to recognize, no, that's not going to fulfill the deeper need of the spirit. Instead, I need to reorientate myself, as John of the Cross would say, inwards and embrace the emptiness. The emptiness takes me down into that inner monastery, where in the quiet of my own soul, I connect into the deeper place of wisdom and peace and find the part of myself that's missing. That's our nugget for today. Yes, blessings on you.